The mystery of the kingdom of Shambhala, the birthplace of Kalki Avatar. Shambhala is a common mythical paradise that is constantly talked about in ancient texts, including Kalachakra Tantra and the ancient scriptures such as the Zhangjiang culture, which spread Tibetan Buddhism in Western Tibet. The word has a Sanskrit root which means the place of peace or place of silence. Legend has it that only people with a pure heart can live in this place, where love and wisdom are the rulers, and where people are insusceptible to sufferings or grief. It is also known as the land of thousand names, as many names are labeled to this place, some of which are the Forbidden Land, the land of white waters, the land of radiant spirits, the land of wonders, land of the living gods, and the land of living fire. It is also called Airavat, the land of the worthy ones by Hindus. It is also called as Aryavartha, the land of the worthy ones by Hindus. The most common name is Shambhala or Shangri-La. The legend comes from the reference in various ancient texts that backs to thousands of years. There is also a reference in Bon scriptures which talks about a land that's quite similar and is known as Olmolgungrin. In Hindu texts, Shambhala is said to be the birthplace of Kalki, the final avatar of Lord Vishnu, that will show the way to the new era. The adaptations in Buddhist philosophy about Shambhala comes from the Hindu texts. The first text where Shambhala is discussed extensively is in the Kalachakra. In Tibetan Buddhism, Kalachakra is a complex and advanced esoteric teaching, and it is said that Shakyamuni Buddha taught Kalachakra upon the request of King Suchandra of Shambhala. Just like any other mythical concept, the idea has outer, inner, and alternative meanings too. The outer meaning is thought of as a physical place where only the people with the right karma can reach and experience. The inner and alternative meanings are thought of more as the state of one's own body and mind and the meditative practice. According to Bodh Gaya text, the scripture says that although those with specific affiliations may actually be able to go there through their karmic connections, nevertheless it is not a physical place that one can actually find. We can only say that it is a pure land in the human realm, and unless one has the merit and the actual karmic association, one cannot actually arrive there. So where is this place? The hidden location of Shambhala. In the past century, many have taken the journey to get to this mythical paradise of peace. Many claim that they have reached paradise, but they have not been able to give a pinpoint location on the map. Even so, many have placed it across the mountainous region of Eurasia. The text says otherwise. The ancient Zhangjiang text places Shambhala at the Sutlej Valley in Himachal Pradesh of India. The Mongolian texts identify it with some valleys in southern Siberia. According to Altai folklore, Shambhala can be reached through the gateway, which is said to be the Mount Bulekha in Siberia. The Tibetan legends have it that there is an abandoned monastery in Tibet which leads to Shambhala, and that is guarded by Shambhala guardians. But the fact still remains that the exact location remains unknown to anyone till date. Many claim that it is because the place lies on the edge of physical reality and is more like a bridge to the world beyond. The Buddhist myth of Shambhala is an adaptation of the earlier Hindu myth of Kalki of Shambhala, which is found in the Mahabharata and the Puranas. The Buddhist version may be a mythologization of an actual culture whose geographical location can be found either in Central or Far Eastern Asia. The Mahabharata and the Ramayana are the national epics of India. They are probably the longest poems in any language. They attribute to the sage Vyasa, which was written down from 540 to 300 BC. Mahabharata tells the legend of the Bharatas, a Vedic Aryan group. The Ramayana attributes to the poet Valmiki, which was written down during the 1st century AD. Although it is based on oral traditions, they go back 6 or 7 centuries earlier. During the Kali Yuga, the temples, Brahmins' houses, ashrams will be abandoned. Drunkenness and debauchery will be at its highest peak. Students will never care for their teachers. Teachers will cheat their students. Relatives will never respect each other. There will be a drought everywhere. People will be stricken with fear. Dharma will be destroyed. Adharma will flourish. In this manner, Kali Yuga will come to an end. At that time, in a village called Shambhala, where Kalki will take birth, will be the reincarnation of Lord Vishnu, and he will learn all Vedas and Shastras and will become the king and emperor. He will then kill all the negative characters and the evildoers and will instill dharma in the world again. And he is said to perform the Ashwamedha Yaga also to conclude this. Kali Yuga, the age of the demon Kali or the age of the vice, is the last of the 4 stages the world which is said to go through as part of the cycle of yugas described in the Indian scriptures. The other ages are Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and the Mahabharata war and the decimation of Yadavas thus happened at the Yuga Sandhi, that is the join of the 2 yugas. The scriptures mention sage Narada to have momentarily intercepted the demon Kali on his way to the earth when Duryodhana was about to be born, to make him an embodiment of Arishadvargas and Adharma in preparation of the era of decay in values and the consequent havoc. The duration and the chronological starting point in human history of Kali Yuga has given rise to different evaluation and interpretations. According to few experts, Kali Yuga began at midnight on 18th February 3102 BCE in a proleptic Julian calendar, or 14th January 3102 BC in the proleptic Gregorian calendar. This date is also considered by many Hindus to be the date that Krishna left earth to return to his abode. Most interpreters of Hindu scriptures believe that earth is currently in the Kali Yuga.